I'm now joined by Professor Lucy Fairclough and Dr. Alex Tarr to tell us more about studying immunology and microbiology at the University of Nottingham. Welcome to you both. So the School of Life Sciences teaches three different courses. You've got immunology, immunotherapeutics, microbiology and immunology, and clinical and molecular microbiology. So what are the similarities and differences between these courses?
Okay, so immunology and immunotherapeutics, the main focus of that course is to understand the immune system, how the immune system works in health and disease. Whereas for microbiology and immunology, there's a focus also there on what the pathogens are that lead to disease. So you look at both the immune system and the pathogens that drive any immune responses.
Yes, whereas the clinical and molecular microbiology course is much more focused on the pathogens themselves, how they replicate, how they cause disease, pathogenesis, and then how we can generate new therapies and treatments to combat them.
And I think for students it can be quite difficult to understand which course to choose. So the immunology one, like I say, it's got some unique modules, but it's also got some shared modules with the immunology and microbiology course. So yeah.
And what is the type of student background that is best suited to studying one of these courses?
So for the immunology and immunotherapeutics, best background is somebody that's really done a little bit of immunology in their undergraduate degree, but wants to learn a little bit more about how the immune system functions. For microbiology and immunology, again, it's someone that's had a little bit of experience with pathogens that drive disease and a little bit of knowledge with immunology, but again, want to learn a much more in-depth understanding of the topic areas.
Yes, and similar for the clinical molecular microbiology course, we get people who've done undergraduate courses in microbiology who are developing their understanding. We also get people who want to progress their careers because it's an accredited course and it allows people to develop be promoted at work. So we do get some more, get students who are maybe a little bit older who are working in a microbiology environment.
And how can students best align their career goals to which course they take?
Yeah, so again, for immunology and immunotherapeutics, it's students that maybe want to go on to do some further career within immunology. So something to do with, I don't know, let's use a few examples, understanding how allergies occur or how you might get autoimmune diseases. Whereas for the microbiology and immunology, it's more a career thinking about how the pathogens interact with the immune system and thinking about careers more in that area.
Yeah, and we get a lot of students that want to go and do research degrees, do PhDs, further study. And these three courses together give you a good grounding to then go on and do a PhD or an MRes maybe and do further study.
And how can students benefit from what's on offer at the University of Nottingham in terms of the world-leading research?
Yeah, so all of the academics that teach on all the three courses are academic leads. They do research in their own right, so they have active research groups. And so a lot of the teaching that we do on all of the three courses are very much driven by the research that's undertaken at Nottingham. So yeah, it's all courses are influenced by the fact that all of them are taught by world-leading scientists.
That's really a strength of all the courses because we have real research active academic staff. We've had staff, particularly in my area in clinical molecular microbiology, we have staff who work in virology, work on COVID-19 for instance, work on antimicrobial resistance. These are very hot topics, and so we've got active researchers who also contribute to these courses as well as teaching on undergraduate courses as well.
Let's talk about research projects and dissertations. What are the sort of things that students can undertake whilst on these courses?
Yeah, so that's the great thing about doing a master's. So there's a few benefits to doing a master's. You get that high level of education with taught courses, but then you also get the opportunity to do a 60 credit research module. And so the research module is brilliant because they get to work in an active research laboratory on a topic that they're most interested in and that aligns with the course that the course that they're involved in.
Yeah. And so there's a wide range of different topics that they can do their project in. So in clinical molecular microbiology, they can also do practical sessions. We have a practical course. They might do diagnostic microbiology. They might get the specialist training required, particularly for those accreditation requirements for the course.
And actually, can I just add to that? So it's true for all of the courses actually. So all of them do some research skills training, which are actually taught modules. So again, there's lots of exposure to do research and have, a greater understanding of what it is to do scientific research in these areas.
And the opportunity to do self-directed research as well, to lead on a small project to start with.
And do you have any recent examples of some of the research projects that your students have been working on?
Yeah, so I can just give an example from my own lab, I guess. So our research interest is understanding how e-cigarettes drive immune responses. So the students in the lab made their e-cigarette preparation, exposed it to epithelial cells, and we looked at downstream immune responses. So yeah, they get all sorts of really cutting edge research opportunities.
Yeah, and we have a large research program looking at vaccines. So we've had students that are analysing the properties of vaccines and how well they might elicit an immune response for virus infections like HIV or for hepatitis C.
And in terms of, you kind of mentioned it there, that this is a course, these are courses that are also practical. So can you outline a little bit more in terms of perhaps lab work or collaboration and, collaborative working that goes on these courses?
I can certainly talk about the practical courses that we run, so that we do a wide range of different experiments, including reverse transcription PCR, these very complex molecular tests, immunology tests, ELISAs and flow cytometry is a particular specialism within the school. And so they're doing quite high level advanced laboratory hands-on practicals, and then they use that experience in their research projects to apply to whatever question they're going to be looking at for the 60 credit module.
Yeah, and just to add to the flow cytometry, so at Nottingham we're really lucky, we've got one of the best flow cytometry facilities in the region, so there's access to some really amazing cutting edge technologies that the students can actually get hands-on experience whilst they're doing these master's courses.
And how do you help students as they look at their graduate opportunities, and what are some of the things that you can do to help them decide where they're going to go after their courses?
Yeah, so for all of the courses, we run a careers day specifically for our postgraduate taught students. So it gives them opportunities to talk to local businesses, people that have taken different careers in science. Obviously, there's lots of options to do different careers in science after doing a postgraduate taught course. So we do career days, and we also, we are also really approachable academics. We love to talk about the science and the research that we're doing. So we're always really happy to talk to students about what career options are available to them at the end of the courses.
And we have an excellent careers team, support team as well, centrally from the university, with some of the team specifically looking at PGT students. So that support is there more broadly as well.
And can you share any examples of where your recent graduates have gone to, what they're up to now?
Yeah, so quite a few of our students go on to do PhDs. So that's a further 3 or 4 years of study, self-directed research. Other students go on to do things like modernising scientific careers, so working in the NHS. Some go out of science and decide that science isn't for them, and they take other career options. Other students can go into companies to help become a technician in a company, etc.
Yeah, we've had technical specialists roles that they've gone into. I've had some international students that have gone back to their home country and set up their own laboratories. We've had some students who go to the World Health Organization and work for screening laboratories. But we have a broad range. Not all, as Lucy says, not all the students go into immunology and microbiology. The skills they gain through doing the course can be used very broadly.
Yeah.
And I was just going to ask you there about international students. Do you get a lot on the course? How do you integrate them into the programme?
Yeah, I like to think that we integrate all of our students very well. We have a really thriving community. It's very multinational, and we have students currently studying from Africa and from Asia and South America, Central America. And I think we do a good job of integrating everyone's expectations of the course. It's a very lively set of courses.
Yeah, and the students very much work together. They've often set up their own WhatsApp groups so they can communicate with each other to make sure that they've all got the support that they need to make sure that they can be successful whilst they're at Nottingham.
Well, thank you so much to you both for joining me today.